Okay, folks, in this video, I want to demonstrate and show you probably one of the most powerful software tools on the market right now for posting to Facebook groups. And this is the Facebook Groups Poster, better known as FB Groups Poster version 2. For those of you that have seen version 1, you know this is a much more enhanced version that you need to have in your arsenal if you want to post to Facebook groups and you want to do it effectively and you want to do it and put it on autopilot for the most part, okay? I'm going to just walk through these tabs here. I'm going to take, I'm going to try not to take too much time, but I'm going to walk through these tabs so you can understand what you're going to be able to get your hands on here very shortly. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get this started, all right? Now, when you first open the software up, you're going to see the interface as is. You're going to see automatically that it's going to open up in the X tab. The X tab specifically shows your Facebook username, email address, password, and you're able to save these details by naming it to a profile, okay? You can call this profile whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever. As you can see below, I already named a profile that I saved, Sean's profile. If I hit the load button, it would load up my Facebook username, email address, and password so that I don't have to type it in each and every time. So imagine you had 10, 15 different Facebook accounts. You can load all those up and save them to their own individual profile, hit the load button, and recall those details immediately, okay? You can also delete these profiles that pertain the same information, and it's just too easy, folks. So for those of you that don't want to have spreadsheets and have to have text documents of all your different Facebook accounts, you just save them in one place and you're good to go, all right? Now, next we have our videos link here. So for those of you that don't want to have to sit there and try to recall all this information at once, I create a videos page with all the links to different videos that pertain to each of these tabs at the top. And you can easily go watch that video for the specific tab to see the functions and everything else that pertain to that tab. So this actually, when you click on this link, a browser window will pop up that will have all those links in one place. So now moving on to the change log tab. If you want to know the most recent update or what you just downloaded, I've compiled all the details, all the updates, all the different changes that the software has been through, starting with version 3.8, I believe. And all you need to do is click the change log link and those details will appear for you so you can see what's going on with the software, what was the last recent change, okay? Next, we will move on to the Join Groups tab. But before that, folks, if you want more specific details, information on all these different tabs in greater detail, just view the link beneath this video that will take you to other videos for each of these tabs, okay? Moving on. We will talk about the 3 different options that you can join groups. You can join groups from another Facebook user. You can join their open groups by putting their Facebook username here in this field. You can also join groups by search term / keyword by putting your keyword / search term here and selecting how many groups you wish to join. You can also join groups from a list by coming over here, uploading a list of groups that you either compiled somewhere. They have to be open groups, mind you. Or you can come over here where it says add groups to a list, and you can upload that list here. Once again, it has to be open groups only, okay? Which is what most of you are probably posting in anyway, which is open groups. Now, with each of these tabs, you have the ability to basically pick a time, and the software will pick a random time between these 2 points. So if you wanted the software from 1 minute to 2 minutes to delay in between it joining groups, software will pick that random time between those 2 points to basically vary your activity, to make it unique so that it's not like a software is doing this, okay? Now, you can join groups that have more than X members. X is the number that you would select, okay? So if you want to join groups that have more than 0 members, then you'd be joining all the groups. If you want to join groups that have more than 1 million, you probably wouldn't be joining many at all, probably if any, depending on your niche, okay? So that's all we will cover in the Join Groups tab. Gather groups gather groups, you can gather your open groups and your all groups, okay? Your all groups consist of open and closed groups, all right? Now, with open groups, you have the ability to select from the drop down how many open groups specifically you want to gather of yours. These are groups that you have joined before. That's what your gather groups are. They're groups that you've joined before and are approved to post in. Now, if you're doing all groups, all these groups are on one page, so there's no drop down to specify a number. It's going to just grab all those groups and it's going to save them to a list that you create somewhere on your computer. It's also going to save that list of groups to a master file that's inside the software folder, and it's under the gather groups folder, okay? So just like the software, when you have your all groups and open groups, you have an all groups and open groups folder. So if I saved my open group, you know, if these are all groups, I've saved my all groups, it's going to save a master list of all my groups. It's going to actually have the name of the group separated by a comma. Then it's going to have the URL to that group, okay? All of my all groups in a master list, which if you created an Excel spreadsheet, you could actually have this so that everything is pretty much laid out for you. You don't have to sort through anything really. It's really just right there at your fingertips, okay? And I'll show you how to do that once you make your purchase with Microsoft Excel or OpenOffice. Too easy. And the same thing would happen for your open groups. Have a master list of your open groups as well. So just did a little mini test here. And that's pretty much it. But the list of groups that you save and you basically would save from this option here would only contain the URLs. And why did I do that? I did that because if you want to post to groups, which we'll discuss in the next tab, you don't want to have to sort through, okay, I got to basically pick the name of the group and I had to separate it from the URL of the group, because all you need to post these groups is a URL of the group. This is all you need. You don't need all this other stuff. It's just not going to work like that. So that's why I created the option to have the master list save the name and the URL, and then this option here just to save the URL of the groups, just in case you want to use that information to post to groups, which is what 99.9% of people will use it for. So moving on to the next tab here. Now, this is going to save a lot of you from being restricted from Facebook from posting to groups. I'm just going to show you this here in just a moment and break it out for you, okay? So if you want to post to, let's say, 200 groups for the day. So you choose 200, right? And you want to specify a time, let's say 2 to 5 minutes or 1 to 2 minutes. We'll just say 1 to 2 minutes. So software is going to pick a random time between 1 and 2 minutes to make a post to every group. It's going to delay that amount of time, okay? It's going to be a different time every time between 1 to 2 minutes. And this option here allows you to make X amount of posts before taking a break. So you say, well, I want to make 10 posts before I take a break. So the software, out of the 200 groups it's going to post to for the day, it's going to make 10 posts each and every time before it takes a break. And then once it takes a break, you can tell the software, okay, let's take a break for 15 minutes, okay? Folks, this is going to save some of you from yourself, okay? Because I have some customers is, you know, I don't know what to say, but it's going to save you from yourself. Now, this is going to allow you to be totally random, totally vary your posts, and to totally just dominate Facebook groups, okay? Now, you don't want to set this thing to, and I actually have it maxed out at 1,000 because I have some of my customers that can post to 1,000 groups in one day. And, I have never tried posting to 1,000 groups in one day, but some of my customers, they can. And I'm not going to limit them if that's what they have the ability to do. But for those of us that are on that minor league level that maybe can only post to a couple hundred groups a day, um, you can use this to maintain your accounts, okay? And not have to worry about, okay, well, Facebook restricted me because everything you did was stagnant. Everything was pretty much the same. So if you made a post, it was every 2 minutes on the mark. And after you do about a couple hundred of those, I guess Facebook has an algorithm in place that will detect that. So this is totally set up for you to be successful in posting in Facebook groups. All right, moving on. Now, I just want to say one more thing. You have the ability to pause the software or basically allow it to take a break for up to 24 hours, okay? So let me just go over these again. So you can delay the software for 3 hours, which is 180 minutes, 360, 6 hours, 720, 12 hours, and then 1440, 24 hours. So let's say if you had a list of groups that you uploaded, and let's say you had 1,000 groups, but let's say, you say, well, I want to post to these 1,000 groups, but I want to do it, 200 groups every day, and I want to kind of this, I just want to have the software, post 200 based off of these settings. So whatever you have in this list, okay, you have 1,000 groups in this list, it's going to basically go through this criteria and post to those groups. So if it's an option for some of you, if you only want the software every 24 hours to post to 200 groups and post to 10 at a time. That's just an option I put in there. It may work for some of you, may not work for some of you, but just another option. So anyway, folks, moving on. You have the ability to put your ad copy here and your URL here. You can spin both of these fields, but together you can save this information just like you could for the X tab over here. You have the ability to recall these two fields of information by saving them here. So let's say you had ad copy and you had a URL that you want to associate with this ad copy at the top. Name it. You could save it and then load it from the drop down or delete it, okay? You also have the option to post to groups with these 4 different options here. You could post text only, no URL, no photo, post URL only, no photo, post photo only, no URL, or post URL with photo. So let's say we selected the option to post URL with photo, okay? Now automatically this is default to no photo. But let's say you want to post URL with photo, right? So now you have to select how many photos do you want to, what do you want to do? Do you want to post with a single photo, which means that you would just use this option here and it would grab that photo, and this one single photo will be used for each and every post that you make. If you selected the random photos, okay, what the software is going to do is in your folder with the software, you have the FB Groups poster folders, and then you have this option that says random images and photos. When you open it up, you can slide as many photos, many images in here that you want, okay? And each and every time you post, the software is going to pick a random image or photo from this folder, and it's going to post that image or that photo with that post, okay? It's going to pick a different one each and every time. Next, I want to discuss the ability to approve new group members, okay? This was brought to me by one of my customers. You have the ability, folks, to approve new group members if the admin gives you that right, and this is usually for open groups. And if you have this checked, which means it's enabled, the software will look to see if there's members that are pending waiting approval. If you approve that member, they're going to get a notification, and it's going to post to their wall when you make a post that you just posted to such and such group. Like I said, they'll get a notification, and that's just more eyeballs on your material, your product or service, your opportunity, whatever you're doing when you're promoting within these Facebook groups. So Last thing, if you have a list of groups, this is where you would upload it. And it doesn't matter if they're open groups or closed groups, this is where you would upload the list of groups that you're going to post to. And then the software, based off your settings, would post accordingly, okay? Next, we're going to move on to the Remove Groups tab, okay? You have the ability here, folks, to post to open groups and all groups. Your all groups consist of open groups and closed groups. Specify the amount of time between each point. Software picks a random time. This function right here gives you the ability to remove groups that have less than X amount of members. So if the groups that you want to remove have less than 400 members, the software will go ahead and remove those members. Now, based off of, let me just put this here, based off of what your selection is here, if you haven't selected open groups or all groups, if it's all groups, you come over here and this is the number of groups you would select to have removed by the software. If you chose open groups, you would come over here to this drop down. The software would basically remove the groups that you selected based off of what you have over here in the drop down. That's it for this tab. The post bump option, this will allow you folks to make a comment on a post that either you made or someone within the Facebook groups made. And when you make that comment, the significance of it is that when you make a comment on a post that was made in the past, whether that post was made 1 minute ago or a day or months ago, it's going to bring that post back to the very first page of that group at the very top. Okay. Now you have the ability to make a post and leave the comment in place, or make a post. Make a comment and remove the comment. Okay. You have the ability to do that. Now, how I would use these two functions, if I have a second account and let's say I want to post bump, I want to take the post I made with my real account and I want that post to be brought back to the very first page of that group at the very top, then I would make the comment with my fake account, leave the comment in place that would obviously be linking to an opportunity or something, and it would still bump my original post that I made with my real account back up to the very top. How would I use this other option here? Post bump with comment removed. If I don't have a second account and I want to basically take my post that I made on my own account and move it back to the very front, I would have the software make the comment and then immediately remove the comment, because it makes no sense to comment on your home post. Now, in my recent testings, folks, this option, pretty much I could do it at will. Okay, I had no problem making comments on hundreds of posts with no restriction or any notifications from Facebook. Now, at the time that you're viewing this video, whenever that may be, this option may not be in place like it is right now. There may be some restrictions put in place, but I can tell you right now, there's no restrictions put in place, and I pretty much can do this at will. But with anything, Facebook is subject to change, and if Facebook makes changes, then the software will have to adapt with those changes that Facebook makes. So that's just the way things are right now. If they change, then I have no control over that, okay? So anyway, you can, just like in other tabs, specify the amount of time you want to wait in between the software making that adjustment in terms of making a comment. And if you want to make a comment every 5 to 10 minutes, the software will pause 5 to 10 minutes and then it goes and makes another post bump or comment, whatever you want to call it, then that's what the software will do. Now, you also have the option, just like in our Post to Groups tab, to have the software take a break after it makes X amount of post bump comments. So if I want the software to make a post bump every 10 groups, then that's what I would select. And then how long do I want the software to take a break for? I want the software to take a break for 15 minutes. Now, this all depends on how many groups you load up into the software. So if you load up 100 groups, that's how many So, that's how many post bump the software is going to do. You load up 1,000 groups. That's how many post bump the software is going to make. So only put in the amount of groups in the list that you want the software to post bump or make a comment on. That's it. So that is pretty much that simple. Now you have to make a comment. You have to put some information in this block. I don't care if it's hello, hi, my name is. Something has to go here in order for this function to work. So I just want you to be aware of that. Also, something has to go here. The person's name, whether it's your name or someone else's name, the exact way that Facebook has it in Facebook is exactly the way it needs to be displayed here in this field. So if my name is Sean A. Walters or Sean B. Walters, then that's exactly how it needs to be laid out here with the spaces in between the first, middle, and last name, okay? Now, just like in my other tabs, in my X tab and in my posted groups tab, in the post bump option, you have the ability to save this field, which is spinnable, this field right here, which is spinnable. You can save these two fields and name them to whatever you want to call them, a profile or whatever, to recall them later. You can load the information, save it, or delete the comment info, okay? So that is it for the post bump tab. Now you have the option here to disable notifications. So if you are a member of 2,000 groups or 200 groups, and you probably have seen it before, there's little messages that will appear here on the left-hand side of your browser window when you're in Facebook. And if you're a member of 100, 200, 300 groups, and if some of those groups are not disabled in terms of the notifications that you receive, every time Joey makes a post, you're going to see it. Every time someone else makes a post, you're going to see it. So if you want to disable those notifications so that you don't see that information, then you have the option to do that for your open groups and your all groups, okay? Now, let me just go ahead and bring this up here real quick so you can understand how this works. So based on what you select here, if you select open groups, this tab, this drop down right here is applicable to your open groups. The amount of groups that you want to disable notifications for, you would just select from here, okay? If you have the all groups drop down selected here, you come over here to all groups and you'll be able to select from this drop down how many of your all groups that you want to disable notifications for. Now you also have the ability based off, once you make your selections over here that apply to whatever you selected over here in the drop down, you can select how many groups you want. That, basically if a group has less than X amount of members, you can disable those notifications. So if you want to select groups that had less than 600 members, it would disable notifications for groups that had less than 600 members, okay? You want to disable notifications for groups that had less than 1 million members, you pretty much be disabling notifications for all your groups. If you selected 0, then it wouldn't apply to any of your groups, okay? So that's how that works. Now, you have the ability, just like in the other tabs, to select a wait time in between it doing the disabling on the different groups that you are a member of. So if you wanted the software to perform this action every 1 to 2 minutes, it will pick a random time between 1 and 2 minutes to disable notifications on those groups. So that is it for the disable notifications tab. The last two tabs we have here is add groups to a list and get groups members data. This is critical, folks. This is probably the big kahuna for a lot of you. And right now, this tab at the time of this video for the, I would say this is still in beta. You can pretty much gather about 2,500 members with no problem. But if you're looking to do that over 3,000 members, I'm still working on a way where the software does not slow down because it's a lot of data. So I'm just letting you know that up front, 2,500 members, no problem. Over 2,500 members, we start, as of right now, run into issues, but this is something I will resolve. But as of right now, at the time of this video, about 2,500 members, you can gather data for no issue. That's actually, I'm sorry, that's actually the Get Group Members Data tab. So this tab right here. And that is when you are, you'll see that when you get in the back once you make your purchase. So I just want to just bring it to your attention so there's no misunderstanding. I'm not trying to hide anything, but it's a lot of data that is gathered from Facebook. So anyway, let me go over this Add Groups to a List tab here real quick. You have the option to get open groups, closed groups, all groups. All groups consist of your open groups and closed groups and secret groups. Basically, what you would do is you would put a keyword here, whatever that keyword is, MLM, Empower Network, whatever your fancy is, and the software would basically go ahead and gather that group data, okay? It'll grab the group name and the group URL. So this option over here from this drop down, gather groups, the group speed, applies to how fast the information and the data is being gathered by the software. Now, because Facebook gets upset sometimes when you're pulling the information too fast, we have the option here to slow the software down. So there's a 1 second delay built in when you choose fastest, 3 seconds when you choose fast, 5 seconds when you choose average, 7 seconds when you choose slow, 10 seconds when you choose slowest, and 15 seconds when you choose super slow, okay? I usually choose average. Facebook is usually okay with that. They don't freeze the page or anything like that. And you understand what I'm saying. If you use the software, Facebook gets upset sometimes because, you know, you're pulling all that data. So anyway, all you need to do at that point is choose where you want to save this information to. I usually save it to my desktop, and I'll create a blank document, a blank TXT document, like so. Name it, whatever. And then I would choose it over here where it finds this document, and it's good to go. So the end result of what you receive, because you also are creating a master list of this data. So this is add groups to a list. So I come over here, save list of groups added to a list. And let's say I did this for all groups, right? Let me see if I saved any. Let me do open groups. Let's say I did this for open groups because I actually did something with this earlier. So at the same time, let's say your keyword was MLM, right? It's going to create a sub list for the keyword, okay? So if you are doing, let's say you did 10 queries for the day, it's going to have 10 separate lists that are separated by the keyword. So if I did a query for MLM, you got one for MLM. Let's say I did one for network marketing, there'll be another one for network marketing. Let's say I did one for Empowered Network, there'll be a separate one for Empowered Network, so on and so on. And they will all be numbered. The reason why this is number 3 is because I deleted number 1 and number 2 earlier. So, and all these, the combination of all these different keyword generated text documents that contain information are all compiled and combined in the master list of open groups. So if I open this up, this is what I see. I basically didn't do much of a search. I kind of stopped it. But let's say if I had, hundreds, if not thousands of different groups for this keyword MLM, then this whole master list will be filled all the way down. And as you can see, it's separated by the group name right there, comma, the actual URL of the group, okay? So that's how it's separated. If you want to actually generate an Excel spreadsheet with this information, you could do that. I actually show you how to do that in a video once you make your purchase, so that you don't have to sort through all this data. So that's how that works. And if you save it from here, it's going to save the actual URLs. So it's going to say the URLs to the group. Because if you want to take that data and go over to poster groups or what have you, you don't have to sort all this information out. You don't have to separate the actual group name from the group URL. So that's why I created a master list, because the master list saves everything. But when you save it from here, from the interface, you're only getting the URLs or what you need to easily be able to jump from tab to tab if necessary. So the last tab that we'll cover here, and I'm losing my voice, it sounds like, get groups members data. Okay, it should say get group member data. Yeah, get group member data. I need to change that. But what you will find here is that you're able to gather group members data using search term / keyword that would go right here. Or if you had a list of groups, and they have to be open groups, you would just upload it over here. So those are two options that you have, okay? And once again, gathering that data, you can go very fast or super slow. Now, I'm going to show you what the end result is of what you would get when you are gathering that data. Let's say you gathered that data by keyword / search term. You have a master list again, and then based off of the keyword that you queried, it would create a keyword-rich document with the keyword in it, okay? So don't matter if my search term was MLM, it would create one for MLM. If it was network marketing, it would create one for network marketing, okay? Let's see what this looks like here. So as you can see, folks, nobody has anything like this. This is what the data, this is the type of data that's being gathered. It's gathering the first name, first and last name. It's gathering a person's Facebook email address, okay? It's gathering their Facebook username, gathering their Facebook URL, okay, to their profile, and their UID. Nobody's doing this, folks, okay? I know people that are paying $50 this for software that gathers the UIDs. That's horrible, okay? But you have it here in this software all in one place. Now, if I want to break this out into an Excel spreadsheet, I'm just going to show you that real quick. Let me just copy this to my desktop for easy access. And I'm going to go ahead and just do this live for you so you can see how this will work. Open. Let me find it here. I'm gonna do this live for you. Let me choose all files. Okay. Okay. So delimit it by comma. Okay. Choose next. I'm not even an Excel type person. I'm just doing this just to show you real quick how this could look in real time. Okay, so this is all, if you have Microsoft Word, great, okay? If you don't, I'll show you how to do this in Excel spreadsheet. Open Office. So too easy, folks. You can even sort this information. And like I said, I'm really not an Excel type person, but I know how to do this. And you can filter it as well. So you want to filter by first name. If you want to filter by first and last name, by the Facebook email address. And for those of you who don't know about the Facebook email address, don't take my word for it. Facebook actually copied this. I actually made a copy of this. This so you can see Facebook recently had an update. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I had to make a copy of this. Basically, what Facebook is going to do from here on out is it's going to send any emails to your Facebook email address to your real email address. So if you send an email to this person's Facebook email address, it's going to go into their inbox, folks, okay? So for those of you that have email software that will send emails out or what have you, you can use these Facebook email addresses and email these folks, okay? I'm thinking about in version 3 coming out for Mailer, this a part of the software. I haven't made that decision yet, but it's most likely going to happen, most likely. So Don't hold me on that. It may be an update, or I may just decide to make it an entirely different product. So you have all this data at your fingertips. If you do Facebook pay-per-click, I mean, you got the UIDs over there. I mean, it's, it doesn't get any easier than that. Doesn't get any easier than that, okay? I mean, nobody's doing this, folks. This is all data that is in one place for you. So, folks, that is it for this video. It's a 35-minute video, about to be 36 minutes. So I apologize for taking all your time, but you'll get more detailed instruction when you make your purchase on each tab. And there should be some videos beneath this video, but pretty powerful stuff. If you don't have your hands on this software, go ahead and get this software today, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and hopefully I will see you as a customer very soon. Take care, and thank you for your time.